Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you probably think of Egypt as all sun and pyramids, right? But have you ever wondered what winter is like there? Well, today we're going to dive into the special charm of an Egyptian winter. And here's the best part. We're not just going to explore, we're also going to learn some awesome English phrases so you can talk about what you love and what you, well, don't love so much. Ready? Let's get started. So, the story we're following today kicks off with this beautiful line. Winter has always had a special place in my heart. I just love that. It really sets a warm, cozy tone, doesn't it? Think about your own favorite season for a second. You know that special feeling it gives you? That's exactly what this quote is about, and that's the feeling we're going to chase today. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to dive into this story about what it's like to enjoy winter in Egypt. And as we go, we're going to grab some really useful, natural-sounding English phrases. The kind of stuff that will help you talk about your own likes and dislikes, really clearly and with confidence. Okay, first things first, Egypt's winter charm. We're going to start by talking about the overall feeling, the vibe of winter in a city like Cairo. Because it's not just about the weather getting a little colder. Oh no, it's a whole different kind of magic. So what makes it so special? Well, according to our source, it's all about the little things. You've got these foggy mornings that make everything feel so quiet and mysterious. And then in the evenings, the lights are all glowing along the corniche. That's the road right by the water. And that smell of roasted sweet potatoes coming from the street carts, amazing. All these little details come together to create a really unique atmosphere. And speaking of atmosphere, let's pause on that word for a second. It's a really good one. The atmosphere of a place is just its mood or its feeling. So think about it. A library has a very quiet, calm atmosphere, right? But a big concert has a super energetic atmosphere. So when we say winter in Egypt has a magical atmosphere, we mean it has this special, magical feeling. All right, moving on to our next section, adventures by the water. It turns out a huge part of soaking up that winter atmosphere is getting outside, especially near the Nile or the sea. So one of the first things on the list is taking a slow, quiet walk along the famous Nile River. And this isn't about, getting your steps in. It's all about feeling that cool breeze, listening to the sounds of the water. It's just a really nice, calm way to connect with the city. Now, how would you say you really want to do this? Well, here's a fantastic phrase for you. You could say, I'm really drawn to taking a winter walk along the Nile. When you're drawn to something, it means you feel this strong pull towards it, like a magnet. It's something you find really, really interesting or attractive. It's so much better than just saying, I like it, right? And the water adventures don't stop there. Our narrator is also thinking about taking a Nile tour at night. Can you imagine the city lights sparkling on the water? And get this, they're also dreaming of a one-day trip to Alexandria, right on the coast, to just sit by the sea and feel that winter wind. Okay, and for a big dream like that trip to Alexandria, here's the perfect phrase. You could say, I've always wanted to take a one-day trip to Alexandria. You use this phrase when you're talking about something you've been dreaming about for a long, long time. It shows it's not just some new idea, it's a real wish you've had for a while. It's super powerful. Okay, so after all that time outside in the fresh, cool air, it's time to get cozy. Let's shift gears and talk about the other side of winter. Those warm, comfortable evenings inside, and, of course, the delicious winter food. Doesn't this just sound like the perfect evening? Wrapping up in a thick blanket, sipping hot chocolate with marshmallows, a new movie on, maybe some soft jazz playing. Now, if this sounds like your perfect night, you could say, you know what, that sounds right up my alley. That's a really great, natural phrase that just means this is exactly the kind of thing I love. And you can't talk about winter in Egypt without talking about the street food. There's just something about eating warm food outside when it's chilly, The source mentions two classics, roasted sweet potatoes and grilled corn. You can smell them from a block away. So good. Another winter treat is this warm, sweet, milky drink called sahlab. It's often topped with nuts and cinnamon. The idea of stopping for a warm cup of that, well, you could say, that really appeals to me. This phrase is a wonderful way to say you find something very, very pleasing. When an idea appeals to you, it means you find it really attractive and you'd love to do it. The adventure continues with a walk through downtown Cairo. In the winter, all those beautiful old buildings just look different. The light is softer, and it makes everything look really dramatic. Almost Well, cinematic. It's just perfect for taking pictures. And I just used a great word there, cinematic. Let's break that down. If something looks cinematic, it means it looks dramatic and beautiful, just like a scene from a movie. So that soft winter light makes the streets of Cairo look like they're straight out of a film.
Okay, so we've talked about all the good stuff, but, being fluent in a language also means knowing how to talk about the things you don't like. So in this next part, we're going to learn some really useful, clear, and polite ways to say, no thanks.
So here you can see a quick comparison. On one side, we have the things that are appealing, like quiet spots and cozy nights in. And on the other side, not so much. Things like crowded places, early mornings, and huge parties. So now let's get the language we need to talk about the not appealing side. All right, first up, imagine someone says, hey, let's go walk around a packed shopping mall. If that sounds terrible to you, you can say, that's a hard pass for me. A hard pass is a very clear, very informal way to say absolutely not. It's strong, but people use it all the time. Here's another really direct one. Let's talk about crowded places in general. You could say, I have zero interest in taking long walks in crowded places. When you have zero interest in something, it means, well, exactly that. None at all. It's another very strong and clear way to say you don't want to do something. Okay, now for a much softer, more polite way to say no. Imagine you get invited out every single night of the week. You could say, it's not really my thing to go out every single night. Saying something is not really my thing is a super common and polite way to explain that it just doesn't match your personality or your tastes. It's a great one to have in your back pocket. So we've looked at the likes and the dislikes. How does it all come together? Well, our last section is all about creating a balanced winter season, finding that perfect mix. So what's the secret to a great winter? It really is all about balance. It's about enjoying those simple pleasures like staying home and baking cookies, but also having new experiences like going to cafes or grabbing snacks. It's about watching fireworks on the Corniche one night and just enjoying the quiet the next. It's about embracing all of it, the cold, the quiet, and yeah, even a little bit of the chaos. Okay, so now it's your turn. We've explored a beautiful winter in Egypt, and we've learned a ton of new phrases. So I have a question for you. What's a winter activity that you are keen on trying? Or maybe, what's something that's a hard pass for you? Try to use one of the new phrases we learned today. Thanks so much for joining me for this. Keep practicing, and you will be sounding more and more natural every day.